Get ready for a wild ride. It's Pop Talk Radio. To be taking shots with hot takes is the ammo. We're talking theme parks, news, update, rides, and more. Hold on tight, cause we're about to soar. Talking Park Talk. We won't hold back, we're letting it all
Come on through Park Talk Radio Avenue, and we're gonna take you higher. That's right. It is episode 49, Park Talk Radio, recording live today, Wednesday, March 26th, as I, Brandon, your host, get ready to depart for a nice bachelor party weekend. Nope, it's not Dave, it's not mine. It's our good friend Chris, and we are very excited to celebrate his wedding in the near future, May. But thanks for checking us out. Episode 49, going to be talking a little bit briefly about some Universal news, but the big focus is on Disney. They just had their SSW event, and plenty of new information broke today, including a 5.5-hour stream revealing the first 29 actors being present in the Avengers Doomsday movie. But that's not why we're here. We're not talking about movies, we talk about parks, and Park Talk Radio is available on all your podcasting platforms. Park Talk Radio, that's simple. Spotify, YouTube, and all the others. Social media curated by Brennan. She'll take care of you with that great social content, so make sure you reply in kind. Like, subscribe at Park Talk Radio across all social media platforms, Instagram being our main one. We also have a wonderful phone line, 407-490-2220. Get you into the voicemails where you can leave your park reviews, your park talk, your questions, and requests, as well as anything you may want to say. Or you can text us to that same number, and I will reply to you as soon as I am able to. Appreciate your involvement. Let's jump on in. Don't know how long we're going to go today, but I'll make sure to give you the most updated news, as we always do. Short little jingle coming in 3, 2, 1.
Breaking news, let me share the scoop. From the heart of Central Florida, it's all about being in the loop. Time to talk news, spreading international, going worldwide.
The news today brought to you by Park Talk Radio and your host, Bill. We do the show every week or so what, but episode 50 is the one after this, and we'll be trying to get good co-host and co-founder Dave Ballsack back on the program. Starting us off with Universal. 2 items of note. First up, Universal Fan Fest nights coming up quick as we are mere days away from April. The event taking place at Universal Studios Hollywood. It's an after-hours ticketed event that you must buy separately, not included with your day ticket or pass. Beginning April 25th and running through May 18th on select nights, you'll be seeing worlds and other universes of Dungeons & Dragons, One Piece, Jujutsu Kaisen, Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Super Nintendo World, and the item of note for today's program, Back to the Future. My personal favorite movie, and what I am highly excited if I was able to go see. Unfortunately, I will not be able to get out to Hollywood or California until later this year, when Comic-Con and Disneyland's 70th anniversary has commenced. But more details had been revealed for Back to the Future Destination Hill Valley at Universal Fan Fest nights. As they've previously announced, the first step of Back to the Future to seeing Back to the Future Destination Hill Valley will be boarding the Universal Studio Tour Tram, which guests will ride until they reach that classic Courthouse Square set on the Universal backlot. This is where the original scenes from the 1985 movie was filmed, and you'll be able to walk the set and feel as if you traveled back in time to that wonderful 1955. In this newest article, for this particular experience, Universal has confirmed team members have been working around the literal clock to make the set appear as exactly as it was during the original filming, including refurbishing some buildings and cleaning up some of the area. Guests will be immersed in the sights and sounds of the past, with recreating the exact moment when Marty McFly walks into Hill Valley in 1955 with that same music playing, Mr. Sandman. Not only will be part of the experience is doing some meet and greets with Marty, Doc, and Einstein the dog, but instead of a traditional meet and greet, these characters and performers will be recreating key storyline and beats from the film and interacting guests as if they're part of the story. You're just another doo-wop greaser walking through the streets of Hill Valley. Hey, guy, nice science experiment. You want to see this baby hit 88? Characters will be playing out these stories throughout the hour, recreating iconic scenes from the movie and interacting with each other. You're invited to watch them, participate, take pictures along the way. And they will also have specifically recreated environments from Back to the Future. Not only the courthouse scene, but you'll also have the Enchantment Under the Sea dance scene will be spilling out into the town square where you can listen, dance, and be enchanted by a live band. And to cap off this particular instance of FanFest nights of Destination Hill Valley, you'll be taking part in a recreation of the film's finale. While we have not been privy to how the effects will work, Universal Hollywood describes that you will watch a storm descend over Courthouse Square as a bolt of lightning strikes the clock tower, and you'll witness Marty McFly and the DeLorean time machine get sent back to the future, in hopes that you'll come time and time again to check out the different scenes, interactions, and engagements in this one particular area for Back to the Future. Now, not every single IP will have the same amount of interaction or engagement. However, all will have specialty food and drink. Check out episode 48 to get some of that good information. And the second news, as we are inching slower and faster and more expeditiously towards the grand opening of Universal Epic Universe May 22nd, recently, the grand opening of the second of value resort near the Epic campus is the Universal Terra Luna Resort. This bad boy opened up to guests not too long ago, a day or so ago, allowing those to now come stay at the second of 3 hotels. Stella Nova opened up back in January. Terra Luna, a near twin of Stella Nova, opened up a few days ago, and Helios will be making its grand opening on the same day as Epic Universe, May 22nd. Terra Luna is inspired by the thrill of exploring the unknown and pushing the limits of discovery, as this is a space-themed hotel, Stella Nova being a solar system-based hotel. Very simple, standard rooms, 2 queen-size beds, couch, desk, refrigerator, TV, spaceport window themes oval on their side, and in this particular room tour that I've been given access to, there's a picture of a planet drifting above your head as you lull yourself to sleep. Everything heavily themed, from the please do not disturb door knockers to the soap in the bathroom. Just the graphics and imagery used, all very space-like and colorful, as on the outside of both Stella Nova and Terra Luna are those hundreds of thousands shimmering, color-changing placards on the outside of the building. As this is a value resort, you don't have all the amenities, no valet, but however, you will have the absolute privilege of paying full price parking every single night you are here. And they have a bar, a quick service, a Starbucks, and all the typical amenities you would expect if you've stayed at a Cabana Bay, a all-star resort at Disney, Aventura, and so on. Now, these are a little bit higher than the Endless Summer Dockside and Surfside resorts, but lower than Cabana Bay. Very cool to see this. I cannot wait myself to go with Brendan, check out Stella Nova and Terra Luna, but the one we have guaranteed, we will be there at Helios grand opening day, May 22nd. We have our rooms, and we'll give you the news as soon as we're able. Now, the big section today will be focused on Disney, as they've had the most stories come out recently. They move a little bit quicker, especially when they're trying to keep up with Epic Universe opening in less than 60 days. And we're going to get right into the news for what they've been talking about and see, where should I begin. So, SXSW. What is that? Good question. I did like to take notes on this particular thing. Now, this is a conference and festivals that occurred. Let me see if I can actually get an about. What is this thing? SXSW 2025, driven by Rivian. Very interesting. Looks like we're talking about music, TV, film, and others, including some theme park news. SXSW, what are you? Maybe there's a Wikipedia. Let's see, hundreds of thousands, 9-day citywide party because SXSW is here for that time of year again. 100,000 folks are preparing to descend upon Austin, Texas for XSSW. How many times can I say it for you? How do you say that? It's not just one festival, it's several festivals wrapped into one 9-day festival. Includes conference sessions, musicians, films, comedy sets, pop-ups, interactive exhibits, and XR experiences. Okay. So creator economy, culture, fashion, beauty, government, and civic engagement 2050, advertising, brand, design, energy, game industry, and so on. So here you are. That's what we had. And over there, Disney was more than present during the 2025 version, and several stories popped off there. The first one being that RDJ himself, Robert Downey Jr., appeared at the conference to reveal new Stark Flight Lab animatic and more ride details for the upcoming attraction at Disney California Adventure. Covered previously in our 2024 D23 E-Stop, 2 attractions were announced for the Avengers Campus expansion at California Adventure. And the first one of those attractions was the Stark Flight Lab. Check out that E-Stop if you want more in-depth information. But to put briefly, it's going to be in Avengers Campus, a little bit further away, closer to Cars Land. And they'll be utilizing the KUKA arm robot technology as you see in Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey and the upcoming, soon-to-be publicly open, The Frankenstein Experiment. Monsters Unchained. And this will be taking you through some testing labs of the Stark Flight Lab, where you'll be sitting in 2 seats side by side. And this arm will then pick you up and take you on a flight through the pieces. So Stark Flight Lab will bring you to Tony Stark's workshop to test out some of the genius billionaire's philanthropist tech, and there's no better way than RDJ to show it off himself. Quote by him: "The curiosity, the passion, the inventiveness, the occasional flair for the dramatic, most of all, a drive to put something good out into the world to make life better, at the minimum more fun by a mile. It is a privilege of a lifetime to be invited to participate." And he goes on and talks about it, and they get to show kind of how the ride system works, what the ride layout will be, and it looks to be more or less an Omnimover, and they'll pick up the pod and you kind of fly around, and it's a pretty short-looking ride at the moment. On Stark Flight Lab, guests will sit in gyro-connected pods and move along a track before stopping in front of a giant robot arm, KUKA, which will then hoist riders into the air, making several high-speed maneuvers inspired by Iron Man and other Avengers. And they did include footage of the animatic release during the presentation. Transferring from a track to a robot arm and then back again, nothing like this has ever been done before in a theme park. That is true. Universal has not done this particular style that you're on the KUKA arm robot for the entire time. You're not being picked up and put down. And as such, they are so excited. Usually, Disney hides all the tech behind the scenes so you can focus on the story. And the difference here is the tech is the story, and this will be front and center. And as such, a piece of tech that's important to the Tony Stark lore is his robotic friend, Dummy. And when RDJ first visited Imagineering, he commented how much the robot arm for Stark Flight Lab looks like Dummy. Well, yeah, they're both KUKA arm robots. The other Avengers Campus ride is the Avengers Infinity Defense, and that will be more of a simulator type attraction, similar to a Spider-Man. We got some more information on that coming up here in a moment. And as you heard my tirade in the previous episode, how Disneyland gets all the good stuff, well, hey, they're getting some more good stuff. Officially announced Fantastic Four meet and greet coming to Disneyland this summer in the style of the retrofuturism 1950s-60s of Fantastic Four of Pascal, Kirby, Ebon Moss, Barkin Moss, and Quinn. You'll be seeing them appear in Tomorrowland. Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm. And in addition to Marvel's first family, a Herbie robot is also in the works, but it's unclear if you'll be seeing said robot in the meet and greet. No official date announced besides summer. The Fantastic Four film comes out on July 25th. Expect the meet and greets to occur within a week of that release, as most of these meet and greet tie-ins happen. Also at the conference, there was a first look at ride vehicle concept and car personalities revealed for the new Cars attraction coming to Magic Kingdom, sometime, I believe, they did not give an exact date, but construction is beginning very, very soon as permits have been approved and drawn to demo and fill in the Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island at Magic Kingdom here in Orlando. During the Future of World Building at Disney session at the conference, they revealed that there will be they continued on of the original reveal that 2 new attractions will be coming to the Cars area. The primary goal for this particular area and attractions is to create an emotional experience for their guests, Walt Disney Imagineer quoted. For this Cars attraction, the main e-ticket, we need to invent a new type of ride vehicle, not similar to Test Track or Radiator Springs Racers as in California Adventure. No one builds these in a factory because it has to do so much more than just carrying you from one place to another. We have to create a car that conveys a feeling when you ride in it. They continued on with the video and they shared that the project team took a trip out to the Arizona desert for research, utilizing real off-road vehicles to experience what it would be like for our guests when riding over the terrain for the proposed attraction. As this is not taking place in the Cozy Cone Motel area. This is going to be off-road with different climates of desert, snow, mountains, and others. And this could be more of an off-road adventure than a typical jaunt through the mountainside of Radiator Springs. The Imagineers also worked with a motocross company to build a real dirt track to race around on and see how it would feel to make a vehicle that can run hundreds of times a day for many, many years. While the track shown in this video is not an exact layout, the Imagineers wanted to craft a terrain that Lightning McQueen and Mater hadn't experienced before: rocky terrain, ascending to mountain peaks, and dodging around geysers. So they're using a customized production vehicle, having sensors all over it, and we're taking it on test drives on our dirt track to gather data on how the vehicle responds to different terrain. This is where we turn that feeling we want into real-world engineering, quote from Disney Imagineer. A picture shown is a maquette version of a very basic ride vehicle concept. Looks similar to an Indiana Jones adventure vehicle from Disneyland, but with only 6 seats, similar to a Test Track or Radiator Springs Racers. In the video shown during the session, the vehicle moved along a single rail model track, rolling over raised obstacles and with a range of motion similar again to Dinosaur or Indiana Jones Adventure. And as far as what cars you may interact or encounter for the attraction, they're already at work creating new characters, and included were early sketches, 4x4, a big Jeep with the exhaust coming off the hood. And they want to include new race car personalities, with each vehicle in the ride having its own name and number, just like a real race. So, a bit more data. We're moving along. The upcoming Cars expansion takes over Rivers America and Tom Sawyer Island, part of a 14-acre expansion. That also includes an area behind Big Thunder Mountain that is Disney Villains. So everything in the center where the water will be gone forever. Again, Cars is probably 2028, Villains 2029 or 30, pushing both back a year. You're looking at 2030 and 31. Something else that was announced previously at D23. The Monsters Inc. land coming to Disney's Hollywood Studios, replacing Muppets Courtyard and Mama Melrose. The big e-ticket attraction will be the Monsters Inc. door coaster. And this one will be having you be the first Disney suspended coaster, and it will also be Disney's first ever vertical lift coaster. So 2 firsts ever at Disney to begin with. It will be using this vertical lift to efficiently load and dispatch vehicles throughout the ride. Having guests entering through the queue, you walk through and you get onto your vehicle, you get in the chairs, the track then goes up, dispatch the vehicle, track comes down with new train on there that has been completely emptied, and guests get on again. And they're going to have 2 tracks with 2 sets of vehicles coming on and off. So 4 vehicles at any given time, minimum. Dispatch. You got to do it quick for a suspended coaster that only has 2 per row and probably 10, so 20 riders per train. This thing's got to be moving, and this vertical lift is going to make it ever so quickly. We hope. This was also previously announced, the Mandalorian and Grogu mission overlay coming to Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run next year to coincide with the release of the Mandalorian and Grogu film. This particular overlay and new mission for the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run attraction will be coming to both coasts Disneyland and Hollywood Studios. I believe this was already announced. I'm not sure why there was such a big deal at the conference here. As part of the announcement, there was a quote from Jon Favreau. One of the cool things about Disney is how we can tell our stories in so many different formats. We're already taking Mando and Grogu from the TV screen to the movie screen, and at the same time, we're working with ASA to bring the story to Disney parks. So I guess that's the programming company for the particular attraction overlay. So I guess they just confirmed the date that it's coming out the same time as the movie, May 22, 2026. In addition, new concept art was shared of various locales that guests will visit on the mission, including Tatooine, Cloud City of Bespin, and the remnants of the Death Star in orbit near the second moon of Endor. So we're just hitting all the fucking nostalgia here. Oh my goodness. Tatooine, first movie. Cloud City, second movie. Death Star, Endor, third movie. We're just hitting it. Here it is. Here's the original trilogy. Luke Skywalker's going to Disneyland. No Magic Kingdom. Fuck you. Droidsmith audio animatronic revealed at the conference. He is the same species as Babu Frick from the terrible 9th movie, but this new tiny Droidsmith animatronic made its appearance in the first portion of this conference section, focusing on those Lucasfilm collaborations with Disney experiences. Nothing clear if this guy will be appearing in the theme parks or the Mandalorian and Grogu film, but it's proof of concept that you can have this little disgusting alien thing riding an android, and here he is. Why do we care about Babu Frick? Now, something we do care about. BDX droids. Something they were testing and now have shown a lot over in Disneyland. There's a little duck-type droids that have the bobbing heads, a square body, and the little duck feet. They're cute, they're fun, they're great, they build ambiance, they build some attention and actual life into the world that is otherwise very void of any sound and has a good ride. BDX droids more are coming to Disney parks later this year, and they will be appearing in The Mandalorian and Grogu. Hey, that Mando Grogu, we gotta make sure we have everything coinciding. If you don't see it in the movie, we don't know what the fuck it is. So BDX droids will be making their way to more Disney parks later this year. The droids will make their debut at Tokyo Disneyland, Disneyland Paris, and Walt Disney World later this year. They recently made their debut with Disney Cruise Line aboard Disney Wish, though are not part of regular sailings at this time. Again, Disneyland, the good stuff. The BDX droids originally debuted in 2023 as a playtest or some sort of limited time variation in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Disneyland, as they were doing some tests and experiments to the sky is the limit. Last year, 24, these BDX boys appeared daily as part of the Season of the Force, a really cool event, Disneyland exclusive. And now they'll be coming to more parks throughout 2025. BDX droids making their way downtown, stomping slow. Ducks want to go to Galaxy's Edge. Oh, here we go. Finally, in this article, SXSW, South by Southwest, an annual event that takes place every March in Austin, Texas, covering a range of industries, including music, film, and technology. Finally, took us only several articles to get to that information. Disney has also announced the 2025 return of H2 Glow After Hours to Typhoon Lagoon Water Park. Blizzard Beach just reopened. Time to plan their closure, charge extra money for the After Hours ticketed event, and you can blow your load at night at Disney's Typhoon Lagoon. Once again, it'll be returning select nights this summer, but no exact dates revealed yet for H2 Glow. After our special ticketed event where you can enjoy Typhoon Lagoon after its usual closing time to select attractions with shorter wait times, of course, special neon lighting, and you'll have Typhoon Lagoon inspired costumes for your favorite characters, DJ dance party, and this event in the past has included complimentary ice cream, popcorn, and select beverages. Again, nothing quite yet for the dates. Tickets will be between $60 and $85. And there we go. Blizzard Beach reopened and closing already in May. Typhoon Lagoon reopening on May 1st. So expect H2 Glow to start shortly after that. Disney released a small episodes called We Call It Imagineering, which have small insights to the Imagineers and some of the ride creators. And this newest episode takes a quick look at the ride vehicle of the new Tangled attraction coming to Disneyland Paris. It appears to be a circular boat-shaped vehicle. Well, it's a boat in the shape of a circle, but the ride vehicle is that of a Mad Hatter teacups or spin ride. It has the lantern on it from the boat in the particular scene of Tangled, where you have the lanterns flying around, and it will be a new spinner ride, part of the Adventure Way expansion to Walt Disney Studios Park that is being renamed to Disney Adventure World. This ride is expected to open in 2026 along with the world of Frozen, and I know you can't get enough of those spinner rides. Just keep spinning on now. As mentioned earlier, we also got a first look at the multiverse jumping scenes in Avengers Infinity Fence, again, likely to be a 3D attraction. And this comes again from an episode of We Call It Imagineering. Ride vehicle, very, very similar to that of Spider-Man, Transformers, or Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure. This ride vehicle was in a mock-up in front of large screens, and one feature in the vehicle is a projected number counting up. Again, it's going to be a very similar ride. That's how you do some of the best rides in the world. And this is what they are going with for the Avengers attraction in the Avengers Campus X-Pack. Continuing on the video, the vehicle appears to jump through a multiverse portal. A rocky planet revealed. The screen's open, revealing a larger screen showcasing the same elephant. So that's kind of neat. In the addition to the rocky location, the clips show the vastness of space, including floating rocks, spaceship debris. And while locations are you're portaling through verses of multi, they aren't instantly identifiable. We do know that the ride will visit Asgard, Wakanda, and New York City for sure. Another clip shows a statue of Loki seemingly about to be crushed by a falling structure, but it seems like a lot of the video clips have been blurred out to keep elements of the ride a secret. And, it's in 3D. It's going to be obscured. This ride has been confirmed to be utilizing 3D technology, as the Imagineers and ride goers are wearing 3D glasses. However, this can change. 3D is on the outs. We don't care for it that much. Avengers Infinity Defense tells a brand new story that'll bring guests into battle alongside their favorite superheroes. And you'll be joining Marvel heroes from all across the multiverse. To battle King Thanos, not Christopher Walken. And this King Thanos is a version of the villain who won. Between this and the Stark Flight Labs, the Avengers Campus area will be double the size, and you'll have, of course, I'm sure, another little food pop up. Letting the good Disney news roll on, Walt Disney World has announced a lower annual pass payment. Not quite that they're lowering prices. No, God no. Are you fucking dumb? Come on. They've lowered the annual pass down payment, but in such, they have increased the monthly payment. Hey, even you can be a pass holder this day if you decide to go ahead and place your down payment. All down payments have been reduced from the $205 price that is for Florida residents. It was lowered this to $99. And to accommodate the reduced down payment, they increased the monthly prices by approximately $8. This remains a 0% APR. For your financial gurus out there. Though all passes now have a $99 down payment, and your monthly price will increase approximately $8. Pixie is now about $34, Pirate to $65, Sorcerer to $88, and Incredipass, you mega spenders, $130 per month. This is only if you are a brand new Florida monthly resident pass holder that you are now coming into the program, and not if you currently are on your monthly or previously on the new program. Sorry, I'm all over the place with this particular story. No good. Savi's Workshop over at Hollywood Studios. Looks like this may be only Hollywood Studios. Wow, something that we get over Disneyland. Or Disneyland already had this. Probably. Savi's Workshop, the custom experience for where you too can build your own lightsaber for about $400 and 15 minutes of excitement. I loved doing mine. Don't let that dissuade you. It was awesome. Great birthday trip with Brennan. Got to build my lightsaber, go to Uga's, and then get the board flight of beers. They'll be debuting a new experience and scrap pieces over at that particular experience. Limited time Reclaimed and Reforge theme beginning on May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Yes, here we are. The Reclaimed and Reforged story at Savi's Workshop Hand-Built Lightsabers was first announced for Season of the Force at Disneyland Resort. It'll also be available here at Galaxy's Edge and Disney's Hollywood Studios. Over the centuries, countless lightsabers fell into the hands of smugglers and bounty hunters. Remnants of ancient battles and abandoned scrap have been scavenged from the distant reaches of the galaxy's outer rim. Now, guests can build them into elegant tools that symbolize balance and the Force. This Reclaimed and Reforged theme joins the existing themes: peace and justice, power and control, elemental nature, and protection and defense. These particular themes will determine what lightsaber parts you get into your kit, or rather slab, to build your brand new saber. Exciting. This is what they need to do to bring additional guests in, not only for the first time, but for repeat offenders who just need another lightsaber. Me, I don't know if I can swing a one during Season of the Force or whatever they're calling it. Probably nothing at Hollywood Studios, but it'd be quite interesting indeed to find it. As we know, It's Tough to Be a Bug is already closed at Animal Kingdom, and Muppet Vision 3D will soon be behind it. Resellers have already taken to eBay and other sites to be selling those particular 3D glasses that do nothing outside the attraction. The only neat one is It's Tough to Be a Bug is black in color and shaped as little antennae coming off the top. Muppet Vision 3D are your standard boxy purple ones. They are online, and we're seeing multiple lot prices where you get one of each. One Tough to Be the Bug, one Muppets Vision, we're seeing $63, $99. You can get It's Tough to Be a Bug, 99 cents. However, that was at an auction. Bidding was going up and up and up to $15 before tracking had concluded. If you need some cheap plastic and memorabilia, you go to eBay and get yourself some $20 or $100+ garbage. But hey, let them know. Brandon from PTR sent you, and you can get the good stuff over there. Grand Fiesta Tour over at Epcot has officially reopened after refurbishment with refreshed scenes and lighting package. It closed back in January for a refurbishment and was earlier in March attempting to be soft opened on March 14th, but there was technical issues. Still a challenge. Now it's back up with its original operation as usual. The first changes that have been noticed and cataloged is that the volcano effect is back inside the interior of the Mayan temple that you can see from the restaurant. It's on the back wall of the Plaza de los Amigos. The nice smoke emerging from the top of the volcano is now much more visible against the dark wall. And now maybe there's more smoke previously than before. We're seeing also fresh coats of paint. The screens have been refreshed or replaced. The props have been added to with more flowers and floral. Though, however, some of the dolls and other animatronics are no longer working. And then to conclude, the mural at the finale or at the end of the attraction has been refreshed with new lighting and new paint touch-ups. Hell yeah. Always giving some love to that ride, but we can take out Donald. That guy just totally detracts. Give me the Caballeros, and we'd be done with it. Continuing on with Epcot, that old Spaceship Earth lounge, previously private lounge and resting area for Siemens. The Epcot Spaceship Earth presented by Siemens. This used to be their private little abode. They are retrofitting it into a new lounge, and we have the name of the lounge has been released. Oh, it's shocking. It's incredible. Let's give it a 3, a 2, a 1. It is Geo 82. I'm giving a brief pause so you all can hear it and you know what it is. Geo 82. Now, you're telling me, hey, I know what that means. But in case you don't, or allow me to say, I know what it is. I'm the coast. I'm the smart guy. 82 is a reference to the opening of Epcot 1982, while Geo refers to Spaceship Earth's being a geodesic sphere. Geo 82 will offer modern and innovative cocktails and globally influenced small plates. Guests will be drinking and dining as they enjoy views of World Celebration Gardens and World Showcase Lagoon. The concept art does show fireworks in the background, so you'll be paying top dollar for the fireworks package. Disney has previously described this as a zen space for families, to gather and enjoy refreshments. With this new announcement of the name, Geo 82 will be adults only lounge, stating upon open, the lounge will offer reservations for guests 21 and older. Again, reiterated and coinciding with the concept art, the lounge inside Spaceship Earth will feature iconic shapes and intricate structures inspired by the park icon, surrounding guests with rich textures and warm metallic tones. This is set to open sometime this summer. Pirates of the Caribbean Lounge opening later this year, post-summer, I'm guessing. GO2, adults only. Fuck them kids. Sorry. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge dessert party is returning this spring, meaning Docking Bay 7 and the food and cargo dessert party will making its grand return, offering galactic bites and exclusive viewing area for Fire of the Rising Moon's fireworks. Now, naturally, this is going to be at Disneyland because we don't get Season of the Force here. Reservations will be opening on April 5th. Desserts party return on May 16th, coinciding with, again, the start of the Disneyland 70th and the tail end of Season of the Force. And with your little tray, you'll be getting several little bites. Looks like a little food taco, some desserts, space gel, tauntaun balls, and of course, the classic Wookiee cubes. Now, I don't know what exactly that is, as we don't know the exact food that will be offered if you'll get a souvenir cup or pricing. You'll have to wait till April 5th when these go on sale if you're so interested. Again, having that exclusive seating is always a recommendation. If you're going to do it, why not get some food with it? Why not get some dessert? It may not be the most fun or the most cost-effective, but you're going to at least get a good spot to watch it. We have always done that for Fantasmic and Disneyland and so on. World of Color for sure. Over at the Disney Grand California Hotel and Spa, if you want to sponsor my trip, I would love to stay there. They'll be debuting a brand new buffet experience in May of this year, featuring the Donald Duck Buffet concept art showing Donald and Daisy Duck in some nice hiking gear as they explore the Grand Californian. Also, Pluto, Goofy, and Clarabelle the cow will be joining him. Donald has kicked Mickey out of Storyteller's Cafe and will start offering Donald's Tales of Adventure buffet starting on May 16th. Reservations will be opening on March 25th for this barbecue-style buffet with campfire vibes. Again, Donald, Daisy, Pluto, Goofy, Clarabelle cow will appear in new costumes during the character dining experience. Unsure if you'll be also seeing Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, of course. Already said him. Mickey, Minnie, Chip, and Dale. And you can check that out. Again, starting on May 16th with the 70th anniversary kickoff. A brand new Paint the Night dining package will be debuting with the parade's return to Disneyland for the 70th anniversary. Now, see, I will be there for this particular experience, and I may even jump in on this Paint the Night dining package as this opens March 25th. Paint the Night dining package at Plaza Inn. You'll enjoy a scrumptious lunch and reserve viewing for the dazzling Paint the Night parade. The website currently lists dining packages availability from May 16th through August 21st. The package will be for lunch between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. with $55 per adult, $28 per child. Dining package not available June 14th to 16th, 18th, July 4th, or August 17th. Okay, good. So we're good on that. $55 to ensure I can see my favorite parade. And with what I pay $55, not only do I get seating, but I will get mushroom gravy, glazed meatloaf, baby wedge salad. Oh yeah, baby wedge. Baby wedge loaf. Pea puree over creamy mashed potatoes. Herb crispy carrots. Paint the Night themed dessert, which looks like a cupcake. And choice of one fountain beverage. $55 for meatloaf, baby wedge, pea puree, carrots. You know what? I'll do it. I'm going to do it right now, live on the show. No, I won't, but I will give you an update as I reserve it later. Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta now testing AI self-checkout at Disney California Adventure. Kind of in the back by Pixar Pier. Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta, quick service walk up, grab your slice of pizza, grab your bowl of pasta. There's a brand new, similar to some sports arenas where you put all your stuff onto the counter underneath the cameras. It will read it based on the shape, density, and color, and then it will charge you appropriately. There's no human interaction beyond that, unless there's an issue, or beyond you picking up your food. This technology was previously tested at the End Zone food court at Disney All-Star Resorts here in Florida. After testing for 1 month, those AI checkouts were removed and standard checkout with human interaction had returned. It now appears their similar technology is being tested here at California Adventure. There are 2 AI self-checkout stations on the right side of the Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta near the north exit. They are placed on regular folding tables with a nice themed wrap to match the rest of the location. And on top, it looks very similar to the All-Star ones tested back in January of this year. Again, similar to sports arenas or other convenience stores you may have visited. You place all your items onto the tray or onto the platform, separating them. The attached scanner then will identify them, and then you will get charged. Nice and easy. And you can also choose to add items manually if you so need to. However, cast member explained that this is for cast members to use, not so much the guest. However, guests were still tap it away. Hey, it may streamline things. We see self-checkout being more prevalent and the main employee of Walmart. However, you don't need to be cutting costs, Disney. You're fine. You're absolutely fine. Just let people work. Give them hours. World premiere opening date at Disneyland Paris revealed. This is the reimagined entrance to Walt Disney Studios Park at Disneyland Paris. Disney has previously stated that the world premiere entrance would open this spring. The entrance gift shop, Mickey's of Hollywood boutique and restaurant, the Hollywood Gardens restaurant are both scheduled to open on April 26th, indicating the rest of the world premiere will open on the same day. Again, world premiere scheduled to open its doors on April 26th, with everything else opening right behind it. World premiere replaces Studio One, which closed last April during the year-long reimagining. A bypass around the building acted as the park's entrance street. The area around Studio One was also updated, and a new theater facade was installed inside world premiere last fall. Disney Parks blog quote here, World premiere will bring a brand new story paying homage to historic movie theaters in Hollywood and the entertainment industry, and even more immersive experience than before. You'll find numerous references to Los Angeles, Disney, and other parks hidden within the sets. You might even recognize the facade of the historic animation building found on the Walt Disney Studios lot in Burbank. The restaurant was formerly Restaurant in Culsa. It has been transformed into the Hollywood Gardens restaurant. Yes, keep taking it over. What is a Paris theme park without LA in there? The Hollywood Gardens restaurant is inspired by a movie premiere party. It will offer quick service options and dining under the stars all day. There will also be takeaway snacks and drinks at the Searchlight kiosk. And finally, Mickey's of Hollywood boutique features Art Deco style decor, inspired by the classic American department stores of the 1920s with a touch of Disney. Mickey will be honored with nods on the wallpaper, furniture, and cast member costumes. A golden statue of Mickey designed by legendary Disney animation director and animator Eric Goldberg will stand at the center of the store. Again, this reimagining and renovation is part of a major revamp at the Walt Disney Studios Park, being renamed Disney Adventure World. When its Adventure Bay X-Pack opens, including the world of Frozen, you'll have the new Tangled spinning ride that I've talked about, the Regal View restaurant, nighttime spectacular on the lake, and new Pride Lands inspired by The Lion King that will have a very similar ride to Splash Mountain or Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Walt Disney Imagineering has filed new permits for Star Tours at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Now, hey, only Disney's Hollywood Studios is getting something? Well. These permits are set to install set elements locating the Star Tours attraction here at Hollywood Studios. The Permit List ThemeWorks Incorporated as the contractor, and this particular company has worked with Disney on Elephants on Parade. Oh my God, Dave, we said it again. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind and the defunct Galactic Star Cruiser. Disney has not released any information regarding changes that are coming to Star Tours or the former Jedi Training Academy stage, with that stage experience closing back in 2020 during COVID. And we just had new enhancements last year with Adventures adding characters and locations from Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Andor. What is coming out that may be benefiting from some Star Tours? We got Andor 2 coming out. We had the Acolyte bomb. I don't know. If you have anything you may know of or think that could be coming to Star Tours, let us know, because it's definitely not Season of the Force enhancements. Disney Springs, here's the good stuff, friends. Disney Springs has debuted new interactive directories. Let me run that back. Disney Springs debuts new interactive directories with updated map features. Several of the directory large physical signs have been replaced at Disney Springs, and the digital signs have now debuted interactive features and advanced maps. Several of these were replaced back in January as the screens have faded and the actual displays surrounding the screen holding them up were beginning to deteriorate. At the time, these digital directories were functioning just like a regular one. Map at the top, list of locations at the bottom. Now, the interactive one has now been debuted. The technology has arrived, dear listener. You too can now use a giant touchscreen. 2 of the interactive directories can be found in front of the Sephora store near the Disney Resort bus stop and Lime Garage. The screen features advertisements for nearby offerings when not in use, but turn to a map when you place but a single digit on there now. I'd recommend the finger, but I'm sure your toes would work in any other appendage you may be flaunting about. These new directories have a different screen layout from the older versions, and the screen begins with a map on the upper half and a search on the bottom. Wow, I wonder how great the search indexing is. Nonetheless, it's a great addition if you're a first-time visitor or you've not been in the last year. Disney Springs can be a bit expansive and confusing to get around, especially if you're in the little boutique shopping areas and not following the simple loop or the bar crawl, as I call it. You can search, you can look around, it'll show you where the smoking section's at, it'll show you the bathrooms are at, it'll show you all the stores you may search, and it'll tell you how to get there. Now, will it tell you, and it will, oh yes, this was my question, will it tell you how to get there and how long of a walk do you have to go? You can also filter it between shopping, eating, playing, drinking, entertainment, I assume is under play. Hey, you go to Disney. Keep paying them robots. It has been confirmed. Earth-shattering news. We are losing yet more entertainment. Temporarily, I say. Disney Junior Dance Party has been confirmed and now closed at Disney California Adventure with a brand new show coming later this year. Disney Junior Dance Party held its final performance this past weekend and has now closed at DCA. A new show will be coming to the Disney Theater in the Hollywood Land later this year, with more information to be shared soon. The show, as such, has been removed from maps, both physical and digitally. And there's nothing here that is noted as what will be coming in, or what the replacement will be. Another Disney Junior show, another kid, younger focus show, or will we get something different? I can say there was a really great little, it was for the younger ones, but a great Halloween show nonetheless in that same theater during Oogie Boogie Bash. I had such a ball. I was delighted and smiling the entire time. Walt Disney World has added single rider option details online on My Disney Experience app and on wait time boards in park. Now, this will give you a great understanding and helpful knowledge of when the single rider lines are being offered. Now, they won't be saying how long they are, as single rider lines are always subject to change and variable length of wait. Now, I shouldn't have to explain, but single rider options allow guests like you, if you're not already by yourself, to get into groups to split up and experience those select attractions individually, with a great possibility of that line being a shorter wait. Now, something else Disney has done to help further educate and try to prevent people saying, I didn't see it, and bullshitting and lying and say, oh, my party, I'm not riding alone. To help further educate guests on this option and where it is available, new information pages have been added to the website Disney Experience and in park as said. Nice little here thing, single rider option. Allows groups to split up and embark on select attractions individually. Attraction signage or a cast member can direct you to the designated line where your party will be separated to fill remaining seats in a ride vehicle that aren't occupied by guests, utilizing standby lines or lightning lane entrances. Gotta be very specific here. Oh, lightning lane. They didn't say single rider. Okay, relax. Immediate boarding or choice of seat is not guaranteed. Single riders must meet all boarding requirements. Special seating requests may not be accommodated. Participating attractions and wait times may vary, and this service is subject to availability. Hey, that's pretty succinct. It's in a single page on the web page, as well as your app. The page also features a new icon for single rider option indicating an S with a 1. With an S, with a 1 inside of it to take up the void or negative area of the letter S. Very similar to that cool S some people of my age drew in middle school. Yeah. The icon is present both on the app and wait time boards in the parks, indicating that this is an attraction that offers a single rider line. While the single rider option was not present on the wait time boards in Magic Kingdom, we have been confirmed with photo evidence and cast members that this can be viewed on other parks, on wait time boards in other parks, as such as, particular attractions will offer this in your Disney World theme parks. At Epcot, we have Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. Where is Cosmic Rewind? Hollywood Studios, Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, and then Rock and Roller Coaster. And then Disney, Animal Kingdom, of course, Expedition Everest. Now, not on the list, however, which has been offering it, because Brandon and I did go a few weeks back, or recently, I can't remember, and tried to ride the single rider line of Rise of the Resistance, getting very close, and then they dumped the queue as it shut down. That has been riding and been offering it a single rider line. However, it's not available on the map. Great stuff here. It's good to know if you can look on the, the walkway to the attraction and see, hey, is a single rider line open today? You got to do that Universal currently with Velocicoaster, Spider-Man, and so on. It's now shown immediately, and you can tell if it's even offered at that particular moment. Continuing on with our breaking news, there was a fire that broke out in Epcot's World Showcase on the evening of March 22nd. A fire broke out behind the France Pavilion at Epcot. Ratatouille getting a little crazy with that flambe. Shortly after 7 p.m., reports were received from inside the park that heavy, dark smoke was coming from the area around the France Pavilion, and the pavilion's restaurants were evacuated. Photos taken from the pavilion shortly after the smoke began to rise and evacuations began. The fire was reportedly extinguished quickly, but the smoke persisted and was going off in the sky with those loud smoke sounds that you all hear. I hear them, right? Guests inside the park reported hearing sirens from fire engines here. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure was still operating. Well, yeah, the chef's going to keep cooking. You don't give a shit that there's fire. As usual, according to the Disney Experiences app, however, it closed shortly thereafter. And then around 8:25 that night, cast members began letting guests back into the queue, explaining, there's a technical difficulty. No fire, of course. And from backstage, or at least where I have another picture that was shown here in the article, more photos taken from the park, you can see the actual fire rising above to the left of Remy's Ratatouille Adventure entrance here. According to Disney's report, there was a fire in a walk-in cooler behind the building. It was extinguished. No injuries reported and the cause of fire not stated. Sheesh. Not good. Remy Ratatouille, what are you doing? I've already talked about Geo82, but however, what else do we have here? Okay. So more details were revealed later, since I went over this particular piece. In an interview with the creators behind the lounge, Geo82, did you want to hear about the Geo82? 82 is the year that Columbus sailed the ocean blue, and Geo is the beginning name of my favorite Pokemon, Geodude. So Geodude's 82, Geodude Columbus, he's out there to sail the ocean blue. Nonetheless, the interview with Creative said that guests will be entering the bar through a tunnel. Where's this tunnel? That's all we got so far. Additionally, the menu is going to be bourbon heavy, and they will offer modern, innovative cocktails, globally influenced small plates. Full menu details revealed at a later time. Geo82 has also been recently added to the My Disney Experience app, shown on the Walt Disney World website as well. Geodude82, Bourbon Boy, how about you? A Disney Starlight Nighttime Parade, the brand new nighttime offering for Magic Kingdom, will be debuting later this summer. No concrete opening date. Later this summer, as I began to think around August or late July, a little quick last push before the locals go to back to school, something of that sort. Disney continues readers and watchers to be urged, stay tuned for more details on the opening date. We're still putting the finishing touches on the parade, so perhaps a new look will be provided soon. It'll be the first nighttime parade at Magic Kingdom in almost 10 years. Oh my goodness. Yikes. Yeah, Main Street can beat it though. Spectral all day. It'll be taking inspiration from previous nighttime parades at Magic Kingdom, as well as some of early animated features of the Walt Disney Studios. And you're going to get the princesses, Coco. What was this one you want to hear, Nathan? Encanto. Here you go. Encanto. The Blue Fairy, Peter Pan, Frozen, of course, and several others on their way. Encanto to you. Where, here it is. There was another piece of great news. There was a major overhaul announced for Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, including new vehicles, blasters, targets, animatronics, and scene. And not scenes, scene. Singular scene. Walt Disney World announced these not too long ago, and this attraction will be closing in August of this year, reopening with an undetermined date in 2026 with the following changes of those mentioned vehicles, blaster, targets, animatronics, and scene. A little bit of history first off, though. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, located in Tomorrowland. It's a Omnimover on-rail shooter where you can have 3 people in the vehicle. However, it's not that fun because when someone doesn't get a gun and someone's got to have a gun, he's got a gun. And then you have a third knob, and you get to fight over who gets to touch that, and you get to spin and rotate your vehicle as you shoot targets every which way, almost 360 degrees. This particular attraction opened up back in November of 1998, replacing Delta Dreamflight, an attraction I don't recall. However, I'm sure I was there for it. Now, a new scene will be added, and it's coming to the beginning of the ride, featuring a brand new character. Buddy the Robot is a support bot whose job is to make sure all Space Rangers are ready to go and perform final system checks on the Star Cruiser ride vehicles. This scene will also give guests a chance for target practice, including some of the new interactive features. So I can see, based on the concept art, this will be exactly the very first scene. After you get onto the vehicle and your lap bar is pushed down, you go into a small semicircle of a room where you enter in and you make a curvature to your left. So you head into the actual beginning of the ride. Currently now, before this overhaul, the ride has a kind of galaxy map, and it's a projection, and you can't shoot. There's no points to be got. Here, you get a brand new animatronic who's holding 4 different targets, and he moves, he spins, he's going to move up and down with those things. Calibrate your guns, get some points early off the hip, and you're ready to go. So that's great. That's really cool. Great addition. Thumbs up. Brand new ride vehicles. New ride vehicles are coming to Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, with the new Star Cruisers having a new look inspired by Star Command, as well as video monitors. Oh, wow. And that's not facetious. That's a real, oh, wow. Video monitors with real-time scoring and other exciting features. So no more little cruddy LCD or LED. Probably not, just little tic-tac. The counter going up. You now get to see your scores go up and surprise some cool animation. Now some more love to an old attraction, and Toy Story IP not going anywhere. Good stuff. New blasters. The anchored blasters will be replaced. Now, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin here in Magic Kingdom, Florida. You cannot the blasters were stuck onto the ride vehicle. They can only go left and right and slight up and down, or you can go, slight up and down XY tilt. They were stuck to it. Now, these new ones will be handheld devices similar to the one in Disneyland and feature an always-on laser to help with aim. Each Star Cruiser will have 2 different colors of blasters, which will have new light, sound, and haptic effects. Another huge W for Space Ranger Spin. That's always why Disneyland, this is the one reason why Disneyland is better. 3 things to shock your brain. Having it a free range movement. Absolutely incredible addition. And they will also have interactive targets. The old Z targets are being updated to interact with the new blasters, with each hit triggering lighting effects and more. Further interactivity was teased with the announcement saying these new targets open the door for a few other ideas Imagineers have in mind, such as taking all the old technology from the shooting gallery in Frontierland and putting it over here in Tomorrowland. Because the tech has been there, fellas. You shoot a little IR blast, boom, the reception is hit, and a tin can falls on a roof. A possum does a spin on a rope. A goat jumps off something. Somebody drops their soda. That's how it is. There's a secondary video posted where they showed off some of these new Buzz Lightyear blasters to really authenticate what they can do. This entire experience will be very similar to Buzz Lightyear Planet Rescue at Shanghai Disneyland and Ant-Man and the Wasp Nano Battle at Hong Kong Disneyland. It's probably also what's going to be used at the Wreck-It Ralph attraction that will be replacing the Buzz Lightyear attraction in Tokyo Disney, also opening next year, 2026. The new blasters, as purported in the video, are very light, similar to Disneyland aboard Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters in Disneyland. Again, no longer mounted to the ride vehicle, allowing for greater range of motion while the rider is aiming and riding. Blasters have different colors. Targets will not react in that color, so you know who shot what, instead of saying, no, that was my IR blast, or you're shooting the wall way over to your left to get a target of where your actual aim is landing. Great stuff there. In addition, those vehicles will be brand new, replaced, as the current vehicles, Star Cruiser ride vehicles for Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin will be brand new after all these decades. The current vehicles on the ride go all the way back to 1972. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin opened in 1998, replacing Delta Green flights. So they've been sitting there quite some time. Vehicles will have new video monitors, real-time scoring. The new targets will have screens that react with animation and lighting effects to show what color blaster hit it. And in the video, you can see both green and orange blasters shown, creating shock-like visuals on the target with a coordinating color ring around it to show that you hit this. And of course, Buddy is going to be there. Now, I've not watched any ride videos of the Ant-Man Wasp attraction, nor what is the other one I mentioned here? The the third Buzz Lightyear attraction in Shanghai. So maybe something to check out. The Ant-Man one exciting. As long as it's not Spider-Man web blasters, I'm whipping my hands everywhere, smacking my wrists on the ride vehicle. There was an opening date actually announced for the Disney Villains and Little Mermaid shows. Brand new offerings. These will be debuting live May 27th, 5 days after Epic Universe, with the Disney Villains unfairly ever after, replacing Lightning McQueen, and the Little Mermaid making its grand return after COVID. They're back. They're ready, both enjoying some May action. As part of an initiative to bring more magic for younger kids at Walt Disney World this summer, I didn't think that was needed. Kid Zones, hey, are they allowed to use that because Universal got rid of it? Because it's DreamWorks Land now? Kid Zones back on the table. Kid Zones are coming to the parks with special offerings. At Magic Kingdom, there were 2 different Kid Zones, one featuring Stitch in Tomorrowland, I thought he was already there, and one in Storybook Circus. Details have yet to be released, but these will include new activities, pop-up entertainment, games, music, dancing, and more. Over at Epcot, Goofy, wah-ha-ha-hoo, not my best, is taking over Communicore Hall with the ultimate game party and play space, following the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival. Said offerings will be available from May 27th to September 1st of this year. More details to come. You can bet your bottom dollar that PTR will have it tomorrow. At least probably next time we talk. However, the next episode will be focused on the new spec map that has come out and April Fools, our favorite time of year here at PTR. 3 stories left here, friends, and we'll be wrapping it up. Breaking news. Avengers Campus Stunt Show is closing at Disney California Adventure. Now, who's to say that this is permanent or temporary, but the stunt show that is located on the roof and balcony of Avengers headquarters is closing. The final performance of said campus show will be on April 5th with an Avengers Assemble stunts featuring Black Widow, Captain America, and Black Panther fighting Taskmaster. There was a holiday version featuring Hawkeye that debuted back in 2021. Now, this closure of said show follows a slew of live show cancellations that have been at the Disneyland Resort over the past year, including California Adventure, and they cut down the amount of performances for Warriors of Wakanda, the Disciplines of the Dora Milaje, Guardians of the Galaxy, Awesome Dance-Off, Doctor Strange Mysteries of the Mystic Arts, all said closed permanently, and the Spider-Man Stuntronic show has cut human performers. It's just the robot smacking its head into the wall. This is all being done, allegedly, at least the Avengers Assemble one now, is being cut as we get ready to double the size of Avengers Campus, and including those 2 new rides previously spoken about, the 3D multiverse jumping Avengers Affinity Defense and Iron Man inspired Stark Flight Labs. You can check out the video online as always and be ready to go with that if you are unable to catch it before the finale. At least the finale until it returns, or probably not, because hey, it costs money and they don't like to do that. Tokyo Disney is opening standby lines for Fantasy Springs attractions next month. Beginning here in April, Fantasy Springs standby lines since opening were not a thing. When it opened last summer, guests have needed to obtain either a free standby pass or purchase Disney Premier Access for an attraction. Standby pass being an essential virtual queue, giving guests a specified time to join the attraction's line, while Disney Premier Access, again, similar to the Lightning Lane. Beginning April 1st, guests will be able to walk right up to an attraction and join the queue without a need for standby pass. Wow, what a novel concept. Premier Access, of course, will still be available until purchase. Even until January of earlier this year, you couldn't even enter the Fantasy Springs area without a pass or to an attraction, meaning you couldn't even walk around. Then it became free to enter. You still needed one of the pass options to go on the rides. And now we are finally available to enjoy a land without money or stress besides waiting in line. And closing us up tonight, Dinosaur construction permit marks the beginning of the end for Disney's Animal Kingdom attraction. Walt Disney World has filed a permit for construction at the Animal Kingdom ride and will soon permanently close to become a Indiana Jones attraction. The notice of commencement is for general construction at the address listed for the attraction here. And Disney is contracting Farron Services and contracting for construction. Farron does heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical. So we're doing some foundational stuff. Not that too much is changing here at Dinosaur as it gets its retrofit. Dinosaur is still not set to close until 2026. The permit expires on March 18th, 2026. But given the contractor is likely only basic work on and around the building to get ready for major construction later in the year. And again, this marks the beginning of the end. We know it's coming, but as we continue to get permits, it's an inevitable piece. Dinosaur will be reimagined to a brand new Indiana Jones ride, not a copy of the one in Disneyland, nor the one over at Tokyo Disney Sea, I believe, which has another similar ride system. Though it does use the exact ride system that is used over at Disneyland, but it'll have a brand new story to go along with the Tropical America's Land. Replacing Dinoland USA, Indian guests will explore an ancient Mayan temple, investigating stories of a mythical creature, probably a dinosaur. Tropical Americas will also include an Encanto ride and a carousel, opening in 2027. And that's what I got for you this show, friends. Thank you all for hanging out and joining me. I just spoke to Dave not too long ago. He's ready to get back in the game, horse up on the saddle. and join your boy Bill Brandon on the PTR theme park ride. So until next time, always follow us social media at Park Talk Radio. Brandon's been doing a killer job, and we are ramping up into Horror Night season as Mardi Gras comes to a close. Follow us on all those. Instagram, Facebook, and such. Instagram's main go-to. Interact with us on those socials, as well as our phone number 407-490-2220. Voicemails and text messages always welcome. Voicemails will be played on the show. If you got a park visit, if you got a question, do your thing. If I get a text message, I'll reply to it if you're nice to me. If you're saying mean things, maybe I ignore you. And of course, you can also get your good podcast, Park Talk Radio, on all podcast platforms. Park Talk Radio, give it a search, subscribe, and give it those 5-star lovelies. Enjoy your day. Encanto is the way, and I'll see you